Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. In today's video it is Sunday, so it is Pits and Peaks day. If you are not familiar with this style of video on my channel, I talk about things that didn't go so well for the week being my pits for the week, and things that went better this week being my peaks for the week. Apologies if you can hear any sort of noise in the background. It's either Oreo sort of grooming right next to the camera, or it's the wind, because the wind is absolutely terrible where we are. I'm looking outside and the lamppost is shaking, so yeah, if you hear any noises it's probably because bins and stuff are like blowing about everywhere. So we're going to start with the pits first so we can end on high with peaks. I've noted everything down for this week. I've got really a lot better with noting down my pits and peaks as they happen, rather than sort of trying to brainstorm them or go through them at the end of the week. So I do have them written down. So my first pit this week has been that I have slipped slightly this week. If you've watched my previous video last week, you will have seen that I had 7 days on track last week, and I was really happy with that, really proud of how I'd sort of turned things around given the sort of bad 3 weeks that I had in January. And yeah, I slightly slipped, so I'm a bit frustrated. No fault of my own, obviously. So the whole reason for the slippage is because I can't remember whether I mentioned it in my last video, but Philip broke his hand and I have been commuting him halfway to work in order for him to get to work. I cannot put up with him moaning that he's bored at home, so I offered to sort of take him halfway. So I take him halfway to work and a colleague picks him up at that halfway point. And at the halfway point, not too far from where I pick him up, is a service station on the A1 that we join back at to obviously come home. And there is a Greggs there, and Philip has decided on pretty much every occasion that I've picked him up that he wants to go to Greggs. There has been the off day where he hasn't wanted to go, but for the most part he's wanted to go to Greggs every single time. There has been some days where I've managed to fit a drink into my calories, but on other days like Thursday and Wednesday and Friday, I was over on my calories by over 500, and that's not great. It's not what I want. I was sort of hoping for just 1 day off track, if any, given that I had 7 days on track last week. So that is purely because when I sort of get to Greggs, I go in with him to obviously help him out with carrying whatever he gets while he's in there, and I end up getting a drink and some sort of like sweet treat, like a biscuit or whatever. So that has been taking me over my calories. I do not want to be sort of drinking my calories, so when I go into Greggs and I get a drink, it's like 200 calories gone, and something that I haven't planned for. I sort of go there with the sort of knowledge that he's probably going to want a Greggs, but I could sort of make a cup of tea in a flask or something like that so that I don't get anything, and I just haven't been doing that. So from now on, obviously because I'm going to be taking Philip to work for the foreseeable, at least for a month, I want to make sure that I'm not having these slips all the time, and that I can sort of restrain myself when it comes to sort of going into Greggs to get him something, that I don't have to have anything. Like I said, I don't want to be like having 200 calories where I'm drinking my calories. I don't want that. I want to eat actual food for my calories. So yeah, I'll put my 7 day NutriCheck here so you can see it anyway. So as I said, I had Wednesday and Friday on track. Sunday I had 11 calories over. Sunday's today. I've planned out sort of the rest of the day's meals and snacks and things like that, and I'm 11 calories, so I'm not really classing that as an off track day. But yeah, Friday and Wednesday were, and they were like nearly 600 calories over, and that's not really good. I was expecting maybe 1 day off track. So yeah, I'm gonna have to nip that in the bud. And like I said, the way I'm gonna do that is that I'm going to make myself like a flask of tea or something like that to have in the car, so that when we go into Greggs I don't get anything. So yeah, that is that pit done, which is a pretty big one for me this week. What else have I got noted? I think that's it. That's all I've got for my pits. Oh yeah, the other one is that obviously because I'm taking Philip to work in the morning, they are pretty early starts in the morning. Like he wakes me up at 4:30, and we need to be sort of at the halfway point by 6 o'clock. So I've got like a half an hour drive to get to that, so we need to leave the house by 5:30. And I've been finding that I've been really, really hungry on the way back from taking him to the halfway point. And as I said last week, I haven't really been having breakfast and things like that. And I've been managing to sort of last until lunchtime before I have any of my calories, which obviously makes it easier for me to fit in snacks and my dinner and things like that later on in the day, because I'm not having those breakfast calories. And I've been finding this week that I've been really struggling with sort of not being able to last up until lunchtime, and I've been literally eating as soon as I get back at like 6 o'clock, which is obviously really early because then I'm hungry at like my typical breakfast time, which would be like 8-9 o'clock. So I'm using more calories, so that's why I've been over on those days. So I do need to sort of try and figure that out. Maybe I'll have a flask of tea in the car on the way so that it helps me fill up or whatever. I'm just going to have to sort of figure that one out. But yeah, just real inconveniences. On the one hand, I am grateful to sort of get him out of the house so he's not whining about being bored, but at the same time it's sort of screwing with my eating and my calories, so I'm going to have to figure that out. So that is it for pits this week. I think I don't have anything else to sort of say about that. And oh yeah, I do, but it's going to tie in with my peaks, so I'll talk about it in a second. So my peaks this week I've only really got one, and that is that I've done my 3 training runs for this week, and I managed to do my 5-miler today, so I am absolutely stoked about that. So training is going really well so far. For the 3 weeks that I've been doing the training plan, I have managed to do every single one of my runs, and I haven't had to sort of adjust the training plan at all. Like I said, I did my 5-miler today. I wasn't sure whether I was going to even do that 5 miles. Yesterday I had a really self-doubt day where I was like, there's no chance I'm going to be able to do 5 miles, but I did manage to pull it out of the bag today. I will talk about that more tomorrow when I do my training diary. But yeah, that went really well. I'm really happy with how training is going, and I looked back on my Strava, and I think I only did 5 miles when I last did the Burley 7, so I do feel like if I was to go into that race now, I would be able to get that extra 2 miles. Like when I did my 5-miler today, I did feel like I had more in the tank, so I would be able to run longer. So I do feel like at this point I would be prepared to go into it, but obviously that extra mileage that I'm going to do and the extra training that I'm going to do is going to help sort of get me a bit fitter and make the sort of race a bit easier for me. But yeah, that's all going good. But yeah, the one pit that I did have that tied in with my training was that I have left training really late in the week this week. My first run was on Thursday this week, and then I did Saturday and Sunday. And that's not ideal. The way that I want to do my training is that I start early in the week so that I can have a rest day in between each run. I would have ideally liked to have done a run on, say, Tuesday and Thursday, and then had like a 1 or 2 day rest day in the lead up to like my long run, or done my long run on the Saturday so that on the Sunday I could do my filming for my training diary tomorrow. I am going to have to do a sort of 1 or 2 mile run tomorrow in order to get my footage, because I don't really have any spare footage that I could use in the meantime, so I am going to have to do another run, which is a bit annoying. But yeah, I don't want to be leaving my training runs till sort of the latter end of the week, so I do need to make sure that I get those runs done earlier on in the week. I am going back to work 1 day a week as of next week, so I guess that's the pit in itself, that I'm having to go back to work. I would love to work from home full time, but that just isn't the way that it's happening. I've sort of agreed with work at the moment to only go in 1 day a week whilst I'm sort of helping Philip with everything, because obviously you can only use one hand, so opening bottles and preparing food and stuff like that is not able to sort of do with one hand. So I have agreed with work to do 1 day a week, and then when everything is sorted with his hand, I'm supposed to go back to 2 days a week, and then eventually it's supposed to be 3 days. I'm hoping that they just keep it at 2 because I really can't be bothered with commuting 3 days a week, but yeah, that's sort of the plan going forward. So I am going to sort of have to shuffle my runs around my commutes for work. So I may not be able to run on the sort of day that my work day falls on, but yeah, I'm gonna have to just juggle things about next week. So yeah, I think that's it for my pits and peaks. So I'm going to end the video here. Do leave me a comment down below and let me know your pits and peaks for the week. But other than that, I am going to, like I said, end the video here. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. You can always click the notification bell down below to be notified of when my videos go live. Other than that, hope you're all staying safe and well. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your weekend, whenever it is that you're watching this, and I will see you again in my next video. Bye.